as we say in Empire, youth culture becomes national culture.
Yes.
And so this culture has grown over the years, and it's going to get worse if we don't give these young people right now a different perspective. And so what is it that one person can do to affect the economy where it is that they are for the future? I'd say share your different principles
and positive
principles,
not negative,
principles.
Positive
like show these young people that doing things the right way
can be done. And you see, now you're bringing it to this point. You know, I even wondered how we got to these videos. I know Yarichi convinced me and all that, talked to me and all that. But you know, I came from a conference, and my takeout, every time I go for one of these conferences away, and it was a TD Jakes leadership conference, but I came out from there, I always say I have one takeout. What's my one takeout? And what I kept hearing in my spirit was model the right behavior. So actually these videos, you know, you remind yourself, Just Angie video started because I want to model the right behavior. Not only to that youth, but even to leaders, to people even who are younger than me, to people even who are around even my age. There are so many things that we are not taught that even me myself, I've either had to find my way, or even as I've interacted with the many, many leaders that I have during PLF and KBS and during our events, I've learned a lot. So it's not that it's a given that everybody understands these things, because even me, I didn't know them. And also looking, so I've really done that, and that's what we're doing. We're modeling the right behavior. Because even one of the things that came out of that conference is that millennials, as they are called, they don't want stories. They want to hear and to see.
That's it.
Yeah? Show me. Don't tell me wrong story, just show me. So that's why, I guess, without blaming them, they would go into, they'd be corrupt. Why? Because they've seen it.
And it works.
It's been modeled.
Yes.
And it works.
Yes.
And if you steal more, you cannot be, I mean, you have to find, if the more you steal, the less the consequences.
Once you start,
no, but when you, the guy who steals a chicken, the law will come down.
Oh, that's true.
Kind of
That's true.
The one who steals X amount, you just get away. Is away, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what they're trying to do, and it's been modeled. So I really think that's so important, because I was just reflecting and reminding myself, why are we doing these Just Angie videos? And it was because God said you have to model the right behavior. Find a forum that you can model the right behavior, show them that it works. I'm even happy, like Sunday, I think I did a Pambio live with the size 8, and she was stuck on this, me surviving a week with 100 shillings. And she's like, you? How? Yes. And also understanding that there's a backstory. I think that's what I love about Spotlight as well. That when they come, they see these photographers or these musicians or people who have made it, they have to understand there's a backstory and there's a process to getting here. But that we're doing the right thing, or we're trying as best as we can to do the right thing. And life is working. Because we can't have this, we can't model this culture of greed, of selfishness, of corruption. It's too much.
You know, how just in the idea of an economy is a very interesting one, because it's the tool that a society uses to create and consume wealth.
Okay.
Right? So you have extractors who remove from somewhere. Then it goes through a process of production, and that includes packaging and being sold. And why you're told, you know, this toothpaste is better for your teeth because of ABCD. And then you have consumption. Now, how do you design an economy? I think the fundamental thing has to be the question you should be asking is it inclusive?
Inclusive of everybody.
Inclusive of as many people as humanly possible. Because if you look at the system of the kind of economy we adopted, even at the beginning of this country, we went straight to capitalism, right? And I think that has had consequences. Because then capitalism says, who are the owners of capital? And it makes people, it's a triangle, right? So it's an upright triangle. And that means the people at the top, obviously for just physics, have to be fewer than the people at the bottom.
It goes like this.
Yeah, because it goes like this. So the people in capitalism, the people at the top are more important
than the people at the bottom.
And the thing that the metric that we are using to determine who's more important than the other is paper. It's cash.
What do I
But if today we woke up and we said, no more money, cashless, no, we'll go back to bartering, you know, people would be in trouble. Yeah, because then we'd be saying, what do you have that's of value, that's not money?
Wow. That's a very deep question. What do you have?
That's of value. That's not money.
And that's where we go to purpose then.
And that's now you
purpose,
now you have to start thinking about
talent,
those things.
anointing,
All those things.
skills.
That Pastor Angie can pray for you. That Pastor Angie can pray for you. You know, you can be in a position in your life where you don't know whether God is going to listen to your prayer. And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
But you know that you're connected to a figure who you can call and say, hey, here, just don't even ask, just pray. You know, and that answer will come to you. And so for me, it's an issue of, is everyone getting value from the system that we have chosen?
No.
Yeah.
The answer is
no. If the answer is no, we have to ask ourselves very difficult questions. But that means we need to flexibility. You know, if you think about it, a nation, it's very hard for an individual to change their habit or to change their action. How much harder is it for an entire society to change? So flexibility has to be one of those things that we have to inculcate in people, even young people. You have to learn, I studied X, but I can do Y, because things change. Do we have the best economic model in the world? I don't know. Data tells us that we don't. Because when people are hungry, when people don't have access to healthcare, it's an issue of not having, I can't afford it. And how many presidents have we lost because they couldn't afford education? How many Nobel Peace prize winners have we lost because they couldn't afford education? And just how much talent have we lost because we've set up a system where we say, no, you need a loan to go to school, you know, or you need a loan to get food or whatever. How much have we lost? Because we have glorified as a currency that is just, I think, tearing this country apart, because you find then that people aren't living to their fullest potential. I could literally have been a watchman, you know, but for the grace of God, I could have been a watchman.
I'm telling you.
You know, I could have been a waiter. You know, I mean, what is it about? What is this thing about me that God has seen? No, let me afford you certain opportunities in life.
Which is why even at PLF we say our leadership lesson is that leadership is a privilege.
It's a privilege.
That God has privileged you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That you're not part of the lot that cannot have. Yeah. But the most amazing thing is that you're responsible. Yeah. Your actions are going to affect those who come at the lower rank than you, and therefore you have to make very responsible decisions.
Absolutely.
And then even for generations.
Absolutely.
Just in case you have nobody else to impact, just understand your actions are going to have an impact and effect on generations going forward. You know?
It's true.
I remember, I don't know why it comes to mind, I think there's a prison commission or somebody who stopped sugar in the prisons, and then he landed in the prison. You know, God also.
You see now?
Now.
Oh, wow.
So after they landed, they told him, Karibu.
Yeah,
so
welcome,
asking about
welcome.
sugar. They told him, where's your Likata?
You're the one who cut
You are the one
story.
who decided there's going to be no sugar. So welcome. First of all, I'm very scared about stories like that, because what do you mean you can be in charge of the prison system, and then you're inside the prison system? Yeah. So you better have made sure you set up great things. But when I think of a story like that, it reminds me of generations. Because for now, we think we can protect our children, but there's a time coming. So you will have to pass on from this exit and leave other people down here who you have not prepared, you have not modeled the right behavior, you expect them to respect you in a certain way and respect your money. Yeah, shock on you the way they desecrate your money and enjoy it and move on, or maybe do even worse things.
Absolutely.
Because we haven't prepared them.
Absolutely.
We think it's only about me and me now.
Absolutely.
And we're not thinking about tomorrow. Absolutely. We're not thinking about that child or your grandchild or the one that's going to come after that. Where is the thought going into about even the consequence of your actions, or even who you are and who you've modeled to them to be?
That's true.
Yeah, almost like almost, I don't know what to say, animalistic, but so corrupt, so rash, you don't care. Then you end up, first of all, the people should end up in those hospitals. Maybe you think you have enough money. Your children's children should end up, that hospital where you stole money, may they end up there.
It's true. And need drugs that you can't
You are the one who stole, you started the process.
And the syringes.
Yeah, you're the one who started the process.
The funds.
You diverted the funds, so now, no treatment.
It's amazing. You know,
and let me tell you, God,
just be
Ninja Papa God.
You know, number one, just be humble, eh?
Yeah, just be humble.
And I think, and I don't know why, but I think we think that we are the masters of our own fate.
No, we're not. I don't know why we think that.
We think that we create our own success.
How?
that is very anti-reason, huh? Because let's try and say you're in charge of, yeah, you're going to sleep, yeah, it's 8, 10 o'clock p.m. You're in charge of making sure that you don't die.
How?
Yeah,
you can't.
And make sure that you wake up.
No, then you can't sleep.
All right, so you can't sleep.
Yeah.
But that goes to show you it's such a simple thing that God allows you to repose, and God allows you to wake up.
You should wake up shouting, Jesus,
Lord,
the Lord is great. You should be thanking God. Wake up with a praise party.
Yeah, because the people who don't wake up, the people who wake up with a condition.
Yes.
I can't move. Yeah. What happened? I don't know. I was asleep. I woke up. I can't move my legs. You hear these stories all the time.
All the time.
Be flexible and be humble. Because, my friend, where you're going, when your leadership is not, it's a privilege. You don't have to be a leader. And the higher God has allowed you to go up, you just ask for as much wisdom and as much humility.
Yes.
Because he's putting you responsible
for other lives,
for people.
People he's created.
You know, for his children.
Yeah.
You know, and so we really need to.
This thing has to be switched
because
completely.
This thing for now I'm a leader, now I need to take it
I'm
all
the
for
boss,
myself.
you know. Yeah.
No, you're a leader so that you can take care of God's people. God has given you responsibility of his people.
Yeah. And then it reminds me of something that we always say even here at KBS and PLF and the Josephs, God gets all the glory.
He has to.
Nobody else can get glory. And if you try to interfere with his glory, there's going to be drama. You must continuously give him glory. You know, I always tell people, and you know, sometimes it's like how you meet somebody and they say, "Oh wow, Spotlight is doing so well," so that you even forget, "Hey, yeah, what?" No, first you to say is, if by the grace of God, if it had not been for the Lord, how come you're doing so well? It is the Lord.
Angie, let me tell you a story.
Making that statement, yes.
That's true.
And it's one thing that I learned from you through the process of PLF as well.
Please do PLF. Make sure you do. It will help your life.
It will help your life.
It really will. Yeah. Was even the idea of Spotlight was really a God-ordained idea.
Yeah.
And I remember from the very beginning, because the first Spotlight happened very, like it wasn't planned. A friend of mine had space at Michael Joseph Center. She just had a baby. She did not want to give away the space or cancel the high event. And she was like, "Sandra, I have this space at MJC. Please take it. Please do something for that day." And so I was like, "Okay, so what do we do?" So I turned to Chege and I was like, "Chege, we have a space, 27th July, MJC, what do we do?" And I remember Chege just said, "Let's do Spotlight." And immediately after that, I remember both of us just going through a period of prayer. And for me, it was sealed in me that this is a God thing. And so from the very beginning, and the reason I tell you this is because of something that happened yesterday. From the very beginning, God was the one who was laying people's names in my heart to call. And so the people who are there for Spotlight on photography, to be honest, if God had given me that picture beforehand, I'd have said, "Yo, Grace is the lady who gave me the space. Take back your space. I don't think I can be able to reach these people." But because it was a God-ordained idea, and we kept going back to him in terms of, "Lord, who do you want to speak to your people on that day?" And the names that were given, I'm telling you, you know, you think about people and then you're like, how will I even start this conversation? How will I start this conversation? But you call, and even before you have finished explaining the idea, people are like, "Is it tomorrow? Is the event tomorrow? Do you want us to come tomorrow?" You know? But the truth of the matter is, it's, as you have said, one, giving the glory to God, but not empty words.
Yes.
Not empty words. Because you yourself need to get to the point where, even before you make a step, you seek God. "Lord, what do you want?" Because these young people are 200 young people coming from different backgrounds. You don't want to put 200 people in one spot and then give someone an opportunity to corrupt 200 people.
That's true.
in one go.
The word I'm feeling in my spirit is impressionable. These are 200 impressionable people. Yeah, and so you have such a great responsibility to put the right thing in their hearts, in their lives, and give them the right trajectory, clarity, direction, and I guess even drive. Exactly. Give them the right drive.
Because society calls it career, but if we delve deeper, this thing is spiritual. It's about purpose.
Yes. That's what it is.
And so we constantly have to be in that space of mind where we're saying, what path are we putting this young person on? Are you doing it out of, just you're thinking, I want to be a cook, or are you ordained to be a chef? And we have to start thinking like that, because without that, then you'll have a lot of accidental career people.
Yes.
You go to school, you don't have enough grades, you can't continue with school. So let me start a clothes shop. It's nothing wrong, because you're feeding your family, you're making money. But that's what, maybe 8% of your potential that you're using. What were you born to?
You were not ordained to do that.
What were you born to do? In all you're getting, get wisdom and understanding. Yes, yes. In all you're getting, know what you are put on earth to do. If that thing is whatever it is, just make peace with God, make peace with yourself. It might not be the president of the nation.
Yes.
It might be the president of the nation. Whatever it is, make peace with yourself, make peace with God, and just leave that thing.
Yeah.
Leave it.
Yeah, leave the purpose.
Leave it.
Yeah, leave the purpose.
Yeah, leave the purpose.
Like I was saying, like now there are people who are ordained to sell clothes.
Yeah.
Like there's a lady who will
with
Kina Vivian, because let me tell you, her name is Felicity.
Yeah.
So big shout out Felicity.
Yeah.
But Felicity, I'm telling you, step into her shop.
Yeah.
Oh,
you'll come out with
goodness. One day went to return something.
Yeah. You bought.
Like, honestly, this is too much. And then the best thing about it, why I call it her purpose and her calling, is that something is hanging there and she'll say, oh, Pastor Angie, please try this. And I'm like, no, that's not my style. I don't like that color. I have
because she has a vision for it.
Let me tell you when I put it on. Can I remove it?
Wow.
I cannot remove it. I'm now living with it. And I had given a whole PowerPoint position. That's not my color. I don't like that style. And she said, when you wear this, and she does that with everybody who walks into her shop. She knows exactly what you need to wear, what will fit you, what's your size. So that's her calling. Her calling is to dress people. And she does it with excellence.
And she has authority in that space.
She has authority in that space. But then again, even we've been doing videos even about how even leadership, like the leadership of the nation, that person is anointed. You are ordained for it. So you cannot, there's nothing you can do about it. You can try to box. Ordination is ordination. Is you're created for it, and therefore you do what you are created for. And then some people will ask, because I've also learned that in life, what if my lot in life does not allow me to do what I was created for? Then I always say, then work. I always say, okay, so let's say you want to do, I don't know, you want to start a business and you want to do, I don't know what, something. But now your path is here. This is what is available to you. This is, maybe you have a job that you don't like. Then you begin to work, to save, to create a plan, to go and execute that one.
That's true.
So there's no way out. Because people write, oh, I'm not doing what I want to do. Okay.
That's true.
What do you have to do now?
Yeah.
So that you can do what you want to do and what you are created to do. That's what you have to do. So implement the plan. There's nothing that is wasted at all.
That's true.
You will somehow that will even be used. I mean, when I think of myself, I mean, I was trained in hospitality.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Did you want to be in hospitality when you were growing up?
When
you were younger?
You worked at Kenya? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like when you were, Pastor Angie,
Ninja. My CV.
Like when you were younger, what did you want to do?
To cook. So I wanted to be chef and to do hospitality. That's the one thing that I was sure of, that I knew I was going to do. I mean, even when I was doing my exams, remember, my mom had to lock the kitchen so that I don't go into the kitchen.
So that you focus.
Me also in the kitchen. You'd find me there making flapjacks, making bread, making what. I imagine like now, if you ask me to cook for you even now, I have to think twice. But anyway, this was my passion. Cooking was my passion.
Wow.
And do you know how? I always wondered, I'm so headstrong. Mom and Dad, sorry, I apologize. I'm so headstrong. So I was the firstborn. I was supposed to go to, of course, everyone was going to Form 5 and 6. I didn't go to Form 5 and 6. I went to the Polytechnic. I found myself a course to do, and I went to the Polytechnic. My parents almost died. They almost had a heart attack. Because there was a progression from here, from 5 and 6 to university.
There was a plan. They had a plan.
My plan. So I went to the Polytechnic. Then I went into now industry. Then I think I was in industry. I don't know what I was doing. My parents, you know those days. I keep saying even out there, you see now culture again, our culture was very different. Me, I didn't know I was going to Leeds to school. I was told 2 days before. Those are our parents, success to our parents.
Really?
Yes, they did. Okay, but they had done the application, everything.
Yeah.
So you
2 days.
Go pack.
2 days before I went,
Wow.
is when I went. And even when I went there was my life is always of drama. You know, I need to be followed by movie cameras.
Yeah.
So I get to Leeds and I get to Leeds, I'm chatting away. I think it's my personality with the taxi driver. We're really talking, so he drops me at the house of residence. So I get there, it's like a ghost house. So I'm like, Allah, where are the other students? They say, I'm sorry, ma'am, school opens in a week's time. I told her, then that is very sad for you because me, I'm here.
Yeah.
Home is 8,000 miles.
There's no way.
First of all, can you see God? I arrived 30 minutes before they were closing. I think an hour.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So so they told me then I have to go now. I have to go back to the office in the campus and then come by the Polytechnic. Then come back and then they let me stay. And I'm like, you guys, do you know how far? I'm not going to be homeless on the street today. But I'm so amazed.
Organize yourselves.
I was very upbeat. So when the taxi driver had them calling me back, he came back for me, took me, came back. And then I stayed in the hall of residence for 1 week alone. First of all, that's a straight for a day because me alone, I don't like.
Then work?
Alone? I find out what I'm doing alone. I don't like. How I survived, I really thought about it for 1 week. All alone in this massive halls of residence is an astray. But hospitality was my passion.
Wow.
It really was. That's what I wanted to do. Wow. And that's what I did. And I did it well. And I was very happy. Yeah. I went through the ranks. And then I think one day I just got tired and said, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. And then for me, I'm that spoiled child. God, favor and me and God, I'm the spoiled child.
You're connected. Eh?
Ma, we are so connected. So I just got one day, I just told him, how did we get there? I just told him, me, I'm done. I don't want to work anymore in hospitality. I want to work in a job where I work Monday to Friday, and I'm done. And I'm telling you a series of events, we must shoot that one as to what happened after that. But in 14 days, long story short, I was made redundant, and in 14 days I was in my next job, which was exactly the answered prayer of all the prayers that I had made to God. Step 1 to 5, I couldn't believe it. But that's not where we were. How did we get there? About purpose and being ordained to do what you're called to do.
And I have a follow-up question on the same thing. I mean, just even at a personal level, can you be passionate about something that is not your purpose and make a miscalculation and say, this is what I'm supposed to be doing in life, and struggle in that journey because you took what was a passion and you turned it into purpose?
But most things which are passion are purpose.
Okay.
Because in order, you see, purpose is something that you would do even if you're
for
not
free.
being paid.
That's true.
You do it for free.
That's true.
Because you're passionate about it. What is driving you is the passion. So most likely there's your purpose in there. And then for me, it looks like hospitality and leadership and coaching and pastoring are disjointed, but they are not. They are, first of all, the one thing that I've come to the conclusion, number one, is God is always about people.